This here is my CZ Scorpion Evo 3 S1. These things have been around for a long time, and they are one of the best PCCs that you can get on the market. It is a gas blowback operation with fantastic track record, military use, and I mean, these are one of the best PCCs that you can get on the market, hands down. You can get them, especially the Evo 3 S1s. Now they're on the 3 Pluses, but you can pick the Evo 3 S1 up relatively inexpensive. You can find them all the way down to like $600, $700. And for a PCC personal defense weapon, these things are fantastic. It's 9mm in a PCC setup, so no recoil at all. Ton of fun to shoot. Now, from the factory, some things that I didn't like that I did end up changing out. I changed out the safeties, and I changed out the trigger for the Timney trigger. This Timney trigger is insane. I did have a binary trigger in it at some point from Franklin Armory. I decided that I didn't really like binary. It's really fun, it's gimmicky, but for a gun that I could potentially see myself using for defensive use, I just wanted a semi-auto trigger. This Timney can be run stupid fast. A3 vertical grip up here works really good. This is an SBR, so it has the Zhukov stock back here, which I'm not the biggest fan of. I think there's definitely better stocks out there, but you know, this is what I got. I'm gonna stick with it for now. I'm running a Crimson Trace, like knockoff, fake looking PEC clone thing. It's a visible green laser and a light. Probably would change that out, but don't need to. And then it's got the Strike Industries handguard up here. I liked the original Evo handguard. I just wanted M-LOK, so I decided to go with this. In terms of accuracy, this thing has been fantastic. I'm also running the Magpul MOE Evo back here for the grip, which if you do pick up a CZ Scorpion Evo 3 S1, I think the new 3 Pluses have a grip like this, or this grip exactly. But if you pick up an Evo 3 S1, you're gonna wanna change this grip out. You won't realize how much of a big deal it is until you change it out. I ran it for 4 years without changing the grip, and then finally was like, fuck, just change it already. It's night and day difference. The gun feels so much better without that bad grip on there, which I think from the factory too, it's just got no texture, so it's really just not enjoyable. But that being said, with the price you can pick these things up at, for a couple little upgrades that you got to do or want to do, can't really beat them for the price. They're incredibly reliable. This gun's probably got about 3,500 rounds through it. Can't recall a single malfunction, maybe a couple during break-in, but can't recall what they specifically were. We'll eventually be running a suppressor muzzle device for this thing. I just haven't picked one up yet because money is money. Magpul mags for this thing are fantastic. The CZ mags work, but these Magpul mags just look so damn good in the gun. I do have the 50 round mag for this thing, but we won't be talking about that one much today. It works fine, but I'm a really big fan of these 35, 29 round mags for YouTube standards, but they're 35 rounds, but we never load them more than 29. They are really good. I actually really like the way that the magazines kind of lock up and release here. So you have this paddle release here. Now some people go with a extended like ducktail down here, which isn't really expensive, but I just kind of like, you put your thumb here, you slide out all in one motion. It's very easy to do, very easy to get to. Now you can switch your charging handle to either side here. Doesn't really matter. One nice thing is you can get the MP5 slap. Now I have a unloaded mag, so that didn't work, but now that that's out, slap it home, slap it, send it forward. A lot of fun to play with, but overall these things are a blast to shoot. I think, you know, some minor upgrades and these things are one of my favorite PCCs on the market. Do I think it's as good as an MPX? No, not really, but I think for the price point, absolutely. You're not going to be upset with this thing in any way, shape, or form. PCCs in general are just a fun time. They're really good to run, good for training, good for home defense, and just all around, they're really fun guns. Now, one thing I really like about the CZ Scorpion is they fold up into such a tiny package. Easily fit this in a backpack or, you know, a small range bag, duffel bag, something like that. Very concealable in terms of a PCC. Now, that being said, you're not going to be able to just throw this down your sweatshirt and walk around with it. But, you know, if you have a backpack or something like that, you can absolutely run it like that, and you're not going to have any problems with it. Durability out of the plastic gun, right? So some people hate the CZ Scorpion because it's a plastic firearm. I haven't had any issues with it. I know some of the newer ones actually have issues where the bolts will implode or something along those lines. Not really sure what goes on there. I have not had any issues with mine. The overall design and ergonomics on the gun are really nice and comfortable to use. Really do recommend CZ Scorpions if you want to get a PCC, but you're not really willing to spend the price for some of the fancier, more expensive options out there. These are really good options for you that, you know, you can get at a decent price point, and you have a really, really, really reliable, rugged home defense, PCC, you know, PDW, out of these things that, you know, some other guns on the market cost more and don't run as good. Now, it is gas blowback, so it's going to have a little bit more recoil than a roller delayed system. But that being said, there's literally no recoil at all to these things, so it's not really much to complain or compare about. In terms of accuracy, I have run this specific gun out to about 100 yards. Been able to hit targets all day long with it. You know, it's a PCC. It's not really designed for long distance engagement or anything along those lines. But, you know, 25 yards and in, this thing is a beast. You're going to be able to shoot really tight groups, put a lot of holes in the same spot. They're just really, really good shooting firearms. Can't say how much I love this gun, but I do love this gun. It was one of those video game guns for me growing up as a kid. Just kind of saw this all the time. Knew I had to have one day. And I really do not regret this one at all. It's fantastic. Despite the fact that it's a plastic gun, it does not really feel like it, does not shoot like a plastic gun, and overall the build quality is really sturdy on them. You get some sling points from the factory, you know, you get rail options. Now the S1s are Picatinny, but the 3 pluses I believe are M-LOK, so that's something to keep in mind. But overall, these things are so much fun to shoot. You can't have enough fun with them. You know, it's cheap, 9mm, you know, a lot cheaper than shooting 5.56. So if you just want a little plinker or something like that, but you don't want a 22 because you still want some simulated recoil there, these are a really good option for you. I'm just a big fan of CZ products in general. I've always had a really good experience with any CZ product that I have had. So at the end of the day, I would highly recommend picking one of these up, as they are my personal favorite PCC. Now, again, I will say they might not be the best PCC, but they are definitely one of the best PCCs for the cost, arguably the best PCC for the cost. But at the end of the day, if you're dead set on something like an MPX, MP5, you're gonna get that over this, and that's fine. But if you're not dead set on those and you're like, I just don't want to justify the price for those, look no further. The CZ Scorpion is the right PCC for you. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.